I think you like.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Read and Roll, the show where we get an unsuspecting guest to fight their way through a fighting fantasy choose-your-own-adventure novel. And today's guest, well, first of all, Smooth the DJ did very well last week. He managed to get into the sort of like the Hall of Records with the quickest death so far. So, yeah, best go and check out the replay of that a little bit later. But our guest this evening is none other than the producer for Dermy Wormy, best known for her producership of Dermy Wormy's shows and channel. Not really, but she does host her own show on her own channel called Cooking the Books, which is very similar to what we're doing here, where we're reading through the books. And she's a marine veteran, she's a cosplayer, and she's an anime, video game, and pop culture nerd. It is, of course, green-haired, anti-liberal. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Yes. I live in UK. So, yeah, that's how I'm doing. Work's been a bit of a slog.
A little bit.
Yeah. No
Not
worries.
too bad.
Well, where am I going? What am I doing? So we're going to get into the game. Give me a second. Oh, actually, we'll just say hello to the chat first. Hello, Legatus. It's Legatus Legionis. Some people say he's a good mod. I say he is the best mod. He's the best mod around all of YouTube. Who else we got? We got Grizzled Entertainment. Hail. Good to see you, mate. And don't forget, it's the pinned comment, Arms for the Poor. The arms being tips through Stream Elements and the poor being, well, me. So, yeah.
I like it.
Got to increase my grift. You know what I mean?
You're much better at it than I am, so.
I'm going to put some merch out there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Pictures of my... Never mind, doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get into the game section. Yes, so I, as always, don't give the guest the book blurb until much later in the day, when I usually give them the stream link. So they've got the backs of the books, of 3 books to read, and they've got to choose one book out of all of those books. Just say hail chat there, and Abe is here. How you doing, Abe? Good to see you, buddy. So I did give GHAL the blurbs to 3 books, and right now she's going to choose from one. But first of all, where is it? There she blows. Right, so the 3 books that you get to choose from today are the Talisman of Death, the City of Thieves, or the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. So, GHAL, which one did you pick?
Man, I thought I had a decision made, and then I saw the covers. Those are some nice covers. It was between the City of Thieves and the Talisman of Death, but that's a nice looking cover.
Talisman of Death is one of the new ones that I've recently sort of bought into the show.
Okay.
Well, Warlock of Firetop Mountain is as well. That's the very first book that is.
Okay.
City of Thieves is one of my favorites.
That's the one I'm leaning towards.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. I'll go with that because that's what my gut's telling me.
Okie dokie.
I really love that talisman cover, man. That's nice.
Yes, so the City of Thieves, not to be confused with the City of Thebes. Where are we? So the blurb for City of Thieves. Terror stalks the night as Zanbar Bone and his bloodthirsty moondogs hold the prosperous town of Silverton to ransom. You are an adventurer, and merchants of Silverton turn to you in their hour of need. Your mission takes you along dark, twisting streets where thieves, vagabonds, and creatures of the night lie in wait to trap the unwary traveller, just like you. And beyond lies the most fearsome adventure of all, the tower stronghold of the infamous Zanbar Bone. 2 dice and a pencil and an eraser. Or I don't need to read that bit. I was supposed to take that bit out. I'm going to do that now. Yeah, we don't... anyway, there we go. You decide which route to take, which creatures to fight, and which dangers to risk. So, with that, we'll take this down. There we go. Fancy in it. All these fancy graphics. It's a hell. It's an absolute hell to try to produce this show the way that I've got it set up. It is so janky.
I feel ya.
Kind of feels like producing for Domi.
A little bit.
Anyway. So. Where's it gone now? City of Thieves, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. There we go. Lovely. There we are. So, in a moment, we're going to bring up the adventure sheet and we're going to be rolling for your stats. Your skill is what we will be testing all of your, attack rolls against. Your stamina, of course, is your health. And your luck score, you'll be able to use that throughout battles and you'll be required to use it throughout the game anyway.
Okay.
Let me just bring this down. Yeah. And we'll roll for those in just a second. We'll get to battles in a bit. Sometimes on some pages you will be allowed to escape, but if you do choose to escape, you have to deduct 2 stamina points. Such is the price of cowardice.
I apologize. There's a third guest. Well, a second guest for you, I guess. There's a third player.
Excellent. A lucky familiar.
Mm-hmm.
This might help you on your journey through this book.
Oh, yay. Thanks, buddy.
But as you know, I dislike cats. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever knew that.
I mean, I can be swayed. A guy who is sleepy, welcome to the chat. It's good to see you, buddy. The covers all look great. Yeah, every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
They always did. They did such great artwork. I tried to incorporate a lot of it in the title, you know, the thingy, but it's a case of tossing up the length of the music. I didn't want it to go above a minute. I didn't want the entire intro to go above a minute. And so you got to try and cram all this stuff into that 1 minute space, and every second counts. Anyway, we're going off the beaten track. Sometimes you might need to fight more than one creature. When that happens, the majority of the time, unless it's otherwise stated, you will roll for both creatures. Sorry, you'll attack them as one creature. So you'll roll against the first one's skill, and then you'll roll against the second's as well. The first one is like going to be a normal battle, but the second one, you can't inflict any damage on them until the first one's dead. But sometimes you'll have to fight them individually, which means like consecutively. Okay. Yeah, look, at various times during your adventure, either in battles or when you come across situations in which you would either be lucky or unlucky, you may call on your luck to make the outcome more favorable. But beware, using luck is a risky business, and if you are unlucky, the results could be disastrous. And as I mentioned to you before, every time we use luck, we deduct 1 from your luck points, and it becomes more risky the more you use your luck. As Smooth found out last week, because he got locked in this never-ending loop where he couldn't roll any more luck than was available on the dice. So he was just stuck in this loop, because obviously if you have to roll 2d, the lowest you can get is 2, and he was down to 1 and then 0.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably break his record.
We'll see. Your stamina score will change a lot during your adventure as you fight the monsters and undertake arduous tasks. As you near your goal, your stamina level may be dangerously low and battles will be particularly risky, so be careful. Your backpack contains enough provisions for 10 meals. You may rest and eat at any time except for when engaged in battle, and eating a meal restores 4 stamina points. And when you eat a meal, you just deduct it from your provisions, and those are on the adventure sheet. And you can ask for this adventure sheet to be brought up at any time you like.
Okay.
Right. So, I guess we'll get into it shortly. Oh yes, of course, the potions you may take with you on every journey. So when you start the book again. A potion of skill, a potion of strength, or a potion of fortune. Now, as will be explained shortly when we roll for your stats, your scores will change, but they will never go above these stats that we roll at the beginning, your initial stat.
Okay.
It can never ever rise above that. So if you have like 22 initial and you're down to 20 and you eat a provision, that's worth 4 stamina points, but you'll only get the 2 because it'll never go higher than 22.
Okay.
But the potion of skill restores skill, obviously. Potion of strength restores stamina points. But the potion of fortune restores luck, and this is all the way to the top for all of them. But luck adds 1 to your initial luck. So if you choose that one, you can drink it at some point, fill your luck points back up, and then you'll get an initial luck increase as well as what you rolled.
Okay.
Okay? You can't take them during battles. So you either take it before a battle or after a battle, which is simple enough. Okay, so hints on play. There is one true way through the City of Thieves, and it will take you several attempts to find it. Make notes and draw a map as you explore. This map will be invaluable for future adventures and enable you to progress rapidly through the unexplored sections. Not all areas contain treasure. Some merely contain traps and creatures which you will no doubt fall afoul of. You may make wrong turnings during your quest, and while you may indeed progress through to the ultimate destination, it is by no means certain that you will find what you are searching for. It will be realized that the sections don't make sense if you go through them in numerical order, but we won't be doing that anyway because I've set up a whole bunch of hyperlinks in this Word document.
Okay.
So I'm going to read you the background. It's a bit of a long one in this book, I'm afraid. So the background. You are an adventurer in the world of monsters and magic, living by the quickness of wit and skill of your sword. You earn your gold as a hired warrior, usually in the employ of rich nobles and barons on your missions, too dangerous or difficult for their own men, slaying monsters and fearsome beasts in pursuit of some fabled treasure comes as second nature to you. Being an experienced and highly trained swordsman, you allow nothing to stand in your way on your quests. Your success on a mission is always assured, and your reputation has spread throughout the lands. Whenever you enter a village or town, the news of your arrival spreads through the citizens like wildfire, as few of them have ever met a dragon slayer before. Wow, you're a tough one.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well, don't you like dragons, though?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so it's like dragon hider, then you pretend to slay it, but then you've got like a whole menagerie of them in a cave somewhere.
Tell the world.
Anyway, one evening after a long walk through the Outlands, you arrive at Silverton, which lies at the crossroads of the main trading routes in these parts. Great wooden wagons hauled by teams of oxen often seen rumbling slowly through the town, laden with herbs, spices, silks, metalware, and exotic foods from far-off land. Over the years, Silverton has prospered as a result of the rich merchants and traders stopping there en route to distant markets. Its wealth,
You're good.
Its wealth is quite apparent, with ornate buildings and richly dressed people aplenty. But as you enter the town gates, something strikes you as being not quite right. The people look nervous and on edge. Then you notice all the windows on the buildings have great iron grills bolted over them, and the doors have been strengthened too. Although you prefer your own company to that of others, you decide to stay in Silverton for the night to find out who or what is troubling the people. As you walk down the main street, a single note from a bell rings out from the tower ahead. The man shouts almost desperately, "Nightfall! Nightfall! Everybody indoors!" You see people scurrying around with anxious faces and looking surprised when they see you. Across the street, you see a tavern with the words "The Old Toad" painted on the signboard. As you enter the tavern, a whisper runs through the locals as they recognize you. Some put down their mugs and stare. You are somewhat surprised that none have come over to you to hear tales of adventure. While walking over to the counter, you ask the old innkeeper for a room and a hot tub, but he ignores you and shuffles over to the great oak door, pushing 6 large iron bolts into place. Only then does he turn to you and say quietly, "That'll be 5 copper pieces for the room and 1 more for the tub. In advance, if you please." You reach into your leather pouch on your belt and toss the coins onto the counter. He hands you an iron key, but at that very moment there is a loud knocking at the door, There is a loud knocking at the door, followed by a voice shouting, "Open up! Open up! This is Owen Caroliff!" The old innkeeper shuffles over to... Sorry, it's the speech jamming. The old innkeeper shuffles over to the oak doors again and slides open the bolts. Then a fat, balding man dressed in rich scarlet robes bursts into the tavern, looking around frantically. He sees you and walks quickly in your direction, huffing and puffing. He's a man certainly not used to haste. You notice great beads of sweat on his forehead in the pale candlelight of the room. As he nears you, he calls out urgently, "Stranger, I must speak with you. Please sit down, it's important I speak with you." When he turns to the innkeeper to snap his fingers for food and drink, you can see that he is obviously some standing in the town, but his face is full of anguish and sorrow. Being curious, you decide to hear what the man has to say. He pulls out a chair for you at the table, bidding you to sit down, and the innkeeper bustles in with the tray laden with hot broth, roast goose, and mead. I put my teeth back in. The man in the scarlet robe sits opposite in silence, watching you feast as you feast, though examining you for some purpose of his own. Finally, as you push your plate away, the man leans forward and says in a low but anxious voice, "Stranger, I know of you and seek of your aid. My name is Owen Caroliff, and I am the mayor of Silverton. We are in great trouble and danger. We are living under a curse, and it is I who must rid us of it. 10 days ago, 2 messengers of evil rode into town with huge black stallions with fiery red eyes. It was impossible to see the faces of the riders, for they wore long black cloaks with hoods pulled over their faces. Their voices were cold, arid, each word spoken ended with an unnerving hiss. They asked for me by name, and I came to greet them. They wanted to take my beloved daughter Michelle to stay with their master, Zambar Bone. No doubt you know that he is the Night Prince. Of course, I refused their demand, and without another word they turned and rode slowly out of town. Heads down, shoulders hunched. I knew then that beneath the cloaks were hidden the skeletal and soulless bodies of spirit walkers. Zambar Bone always uses them as his messengers, as they will complete their mission or die in the attempt, and they did not die easily. Only a silver arrow through the heart will release those evil beings from their eternal twilight existence. Who knows what it will take to kill Zambar Bone? Anyway, that same night after the spirit stalkers left, our troubles began. The Night Prince was angry and determined to harm us. 6 moondogs came, each stronger than 4 men with razor-sharp fangs. They stalked through the town, entering homes through open windows and killing the poor people inside. In the morning, we counted 23 dead, so we barred our windows and bolted our doors. But each night the moondogs return, and we are unable to sleep for fear they might find a way into our homes. Some people are now talking of self-winding. That doesn't make sense. Some people are talking of self-winding to Zambar Bone. That doesn't quite make sense. Don't worry, we're almost there. Those whimpering traitors, I should have them flogged, but what good would it do? There is but one hope, and that rests with you, stranger. There is a man called Nicodemus who, for reasons I'll never understand, lives in Port Blacksand. The place is commonly called the City of Thieves, roll credits, as it is home of every pirate, brigand, assassin, thief, and evildoer for hundreds of miles around. I think he lives there just to get some peace from the likes of us. He is a wise old wizard and unlikely to come to much harm even in Port Blacksand. For his magical powers are great. He alone is capable of defeating Zambar Bone. He used to be a friend of mine many years ago. We need him. I beg you to bring him to us. None here dares to enter Port Blacksand. You will be well rewarded if you help a stranger. Take these 30 gold pieces for your journey, and take this sword to use and keep. As Owen Caroliff rises, he pulls back his scarlet robe, revealing the finest broadsword you've ever seen. He hands it to you, and touching the edge of the blade, you are surprised to see a droplet of blood fall from your finger. You then examine it, the marvellously ornate gilded serpents twinning round the hilt. You have never wanted anything so badly in your life before. You stand up and hold out your right arm to Owen. He shakes it eagerly, saying, "You must set off at first light of dawn. The moondogs will be gone by then. I shall be forced to stay the night here also, so let's drink to our destiny, and may the gods be with us." For the next hour, Owen talks about your coming journey, explaining in detail how to reach Port Blacksand. Later, you gather up your backpack and your furs, and you climb up the wooden stairs to your room. You sleep uneasily, despite the security afforded by your new broadsword. as you are more than once woken by the sniffing and scratching and howling of the roaming moondogs outside. By dawn, you are already awake and dressed, and determined to reach Port Blacksand quickly to find this man, Nicodemus. As you leave the tavern, a black cat scurries past your feet. Ah, you got a kitty right there. And you almost trip. A bad omen, perhaps. And then, of course, the inevitable now click here, which will take us to the first paragraph. But before we do that, I'm going to see quickly, because I don't get to see until after I've finished reading all that, who's in the chat. Hello, Bendover. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. And we've also got Ref. Thanks for coming, Gooners. And Rick Cleary, of course. Rick Cleary is here. Thank you for joining me, mate. It's good to see you all. Zimbabwean Stalkers checks out. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's in relation to something. But I don't know. Are you going... Are you going on my joke from last night on the Hump Day Chinwag? Can I push a stool in for you?
Gross.
Well, at least you got it. Anyway, so now you get involved. There is something I didn't mention to you. There are rules to the game, obviously, but I've added 3 of my own little rules.
Okay.
That are similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So on the adventure sheet here, you can see these 3 boxes marked Atta, Path, and But. Right? So that one is ask the audience. So if you're not sure of an answer where you should go or what you should do, then you can always ask the audience, and I will put a poll in the chat and they can vote. You don't have to take their choice, but it's a sort of guide. You've also got phone a friend, which is basically you can ask one person in the chat, whoever you want, what they might do. Who knows? They might have played the book before or watched when Daramuth played this book. Anyway, the third one is backtrack. So if you don't like a decision, you can always go back to the previous paragraph and then make a different decision. But you can only use each of them once in any journey.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So let's get on with it then. Let's get over to that dice roller, and I'm going to start rolling for your initial stats. So we've got skill, stamina, and luck. So the first one, of course, is skill. And what I need you to do is to roll 1d6. A 5, lovely, plus the 6 points. That gives you an initial skill of 11. Fantastic. Pretty good. Now I need you to roll 2d6 for your stamina, please. 3 and a 2, that's 5, plus the 12, that's 17. So you got an initial stamina of 17. And now we need to roll for your luck, which is just 1d6, please. 6. You couldn't have got higher than that. 6 plus 6 is 12. So your current luck score is 12. Did you decide on a potion that you want to take with you? Got the potion of strength, the potion of skill, and the potion of fortune. Each one will fill your, stats back up to full. But the luck one will also add an initial luck.
Let's do the skill.
Okie dokie. Pot of skill. There you are. Now you can take that anytime you like. It'd be a bit pointless now. But you may very well need it a little bit further on down the line. A lot of people take the stamina one, but the strength one. But I find personally, just using the provisions, I think the luck one has got the best bang for buck.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, that's brilliant. Those are pretty good initial stats. So good for you.
Yay.
So, GHAL, we've gone through the old blurb. We've gone through the background. We've gone through the majority of the rules. Are you ready to play City of Thieves?
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Just going to say hello to Crimson Shadow. And there's a good few people coming in now. Because apparently it's a Tombi raid.
Nice.
Awesome. We got Davyverse as well. Thank you. Good to see you. Saw potion online that promised growth. As 3 times as big. I want that one. Could use a few extra inches. Yes.
Yeah, that's
definitely.
That's also what she said. So.
That is what she said. Anyway, Atom Gray. Good to see you.
Hello.
Right, we've got to get on with the game because otherwise it's going to take us all night. So now click here. The walk to Port Blacksand takes you west some 50 miles across plains and over hills, fortunately without any harmful encounters. Eventually, you reach the coast and you see a high city wall surrounding Port Blacksand and a cluster of buildings projecting into the sea like ugly black marks. Ships lie anchored in the harbour and the smoke. Who's that? The real Tombi? Oh, Tombi, look at that. What a fucking beautiful bloke. I can't highlight it, but Tombi has tipped 20 quid. I wonder if he said something, because you see, the problem is I cannot see it because something went wrong tonight when I loaded up OBS. So none of my stream elements things has come through. Let me see if I can just... Sorry to cut your first paragraph in half, but I want to make sure that Tombi's not said something. Tumpity Tom. What an anticlimax, eh?
All good. That was really cool, the way it popped up, though. I liked it.
Oh, you
nice
like
touch.
it? Yeah, I mean, I don't get to see it much. But, yeah, no, it's lovely to see that. Thank you so much, Tombi. But if you did, I can't see any notes attached to...
He just put it in chat.
Hey, what? He knows what's up. He knows what's up. And welcome anyway, Tombi. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the donation of £20. British dibdobs, as he would call them. So thank you so much for that.
I'm doing quite well, Tommy. Thank you. I have a bit of a cough, but try to keep it together.
Yes, well, at least you haven't got a pink wink.
Yeah, well, there is that, yes.
No one wants a pink wink. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Where were we? Ships lie anchored in the harbour and smoke rises gently from the chimneys. It looks peaceful enough, and it is only when the wind changes that you smell the decay in the breeze to remind you of the evil nature of this notorious place. Following the dusty road along the coast to the city gates, you begin to notice fearful warnings, skulls on wooden spikes, starving men in iron cages suspended from the city wall, and black flags everywhere. As you approach the main gate, a chill runs down your spine and you instinctively grip the hilt of your broadsword for reassurance. At the gate, you are confronted by a tall guard wearing a black chainmail coat and iron helmet. He steps forward, barring the way with his pike. saying, "Who would enter Port Blacksand uninvited?" Most of my characters have this Cockney accent. You'll get used to it. State the nature of your business or go back the way you came. So, your first decisions of the game. Will you tell him you wish to be taken to Nicodemus? Tell him you wish to sell some stolen booty? Or attack him quickly with your sword?
Let's just sell some stolen booty.
Okay, turn to 33. You tell the guard that you wish to sell some silver chalices that you stole from a tavern in Silverton, and that you will pay him a gold piece for his advice as to where to go for the best price. The guard looks at you suspiciously, saying, "Let me look at these chalices in your backpack before I admit you." Will you tell him that you know the chalices are cursed and should only be examined by a mage? Try to run past the guard into the main street, or attack him quickly with your sword?
Tell him they're cursed.
Okay. Turn to 381. Why is that one not hyperlinks? We're editing in real time, boys and girls. Editing in real time. Hyperlink. Bookmark. 381. We're professionals, consummate professionals here on Read and Roll, boys and girls. Okay, there we go. Live editing. 381. The guard frowns and says, "A likely story, I'm sure, but I suppose you are just the same as all the rest inside this city. You may enter at your own peril or buy my advice for 3 gold pieces." Now, don't forget, on your adventure sheet, which I haven't actually put it on your adventure sheet yet,
30 gold pieces.
you do have 30 gold pieces. So 30 gold. Stick that in there. So you can either buy his advice for 3 gold pieces, or you can, what's the other option? Head straight into the city.
Let's go into the city.
Okie dokie. He probably didn't have anything interesting to say anyway.
I assumed you'd be a smartass.
That was 381, by the way, wasn't it? 381. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I've got to keep track so that if you use the backtrack, we can go back.
Okay.
Through the main gates, you see that the rubbish-filled streets of the port are narrow and cobbled. Old and decrepit buildings line them closely, with their upper stories overhanging menacingly. That's because people shit out of them. That's what they're for. Yeah. Anyway, you may go west down Key Street, head north along Market Street, or go east down Clock Street.
Let's go east.
East down Clock Street, turn to 17. Walking along the narrow street, you see a man wearing tattered rags sitting in the gutter. His head rests on his hands, and he looks thoroughly miserable. Will you stop and talk to him, or would you rather continue walking east?
Let's talk.
Okay, 331. As you approach the man, he suddenly springs up and screams at the top of his voice. He produces a dagger from his ragged clothing and leaps at you. His wild eyes belong to an insane man or a possessed man. You must fight him. He is a madman, and he has a skill of 5 and a stamina of 5. So, that means... wait for it. Got some battle music. And, of course... we'll stick his skill there and stamina in there. So your first battle. Here's how it works. You will first roll 2d6 for the enemy. Not just yet. Don't do anything just yet. Wait until I ask you. Roll 2d6 for the enemy, and then we'll add that to his skill. And then we'll roll 2 for you, and then we add that to your skill. Whichever is the highest gets wins the attack round.
Okay.
If you choose to test your luck during the attack round, if you have had a successful attack round, you can roll 2d6 to test your luck, and it has to be equal to or lower than your current luck score to be lucky. If you won the attack round and you are lucky, you inflict 2 more damage to the enemy. If you are unlucky, you only inflict 1 damage as opposed to the regular 2.
Okay.
If you lose the attack round, you can lessen the blow by being lucky. Or if you are unlucky, it does 1 extra damage to you.
Okay.
Okay? So, for your first roll for them, give me 2d6, please. That's a 3 and a 5. Sorry. 3 and a 5. Hang on, that's not right. That's like some OP boss level madman you were going for there. So now we've given them 13. Can you roll 2d6 for yourself, please? That's a 5 and a 3 again. That gives you 19. That means you've won that attack round. And so we'll reduce 2 from their stamina. And that gives them 3. So you can either continue with the next attack round, or you can test your luck for 2 extra damage if you're lucky.
I will continue without testing luck.
And 2d6, please, for the enemy. A 4 and a 3, that gives them 12. And now 2d6 for yourself, please. 6 and a 5. You can't get better than that. One more away from a perfect score then. That gives you 22. You won that attack round. You've reduced their stamina down to 1. 1 more regular hit, and you've won the battle anyway. But if you choose to use your luck right now and you're lucky, you'll just wipe him out.
Let's continue on.
Okie dokie. 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 6 and a 1. That gives them 12 again. And then 2d6 for yourself, please. A 4 and a 2. That gives you 17, which means that you have won the attack round. You've won the battle. Well done to GHAL. You you don't get into the Hall of Fame just yet. Not for that reason. Well done. Very big congratulations. That is your first battle over. How did you find it?
It was fun.
Okay. I've been trying to work on keeping it like flowing and keeping it quick. The first time I did the show, it wasn't as quick, you know, because I have to be narcissistic and go back and watch through the entire stream again. So, you won. It was a perfect round as well. You didn't get hit once. Smoo could have done with those rolls and the initial skill last week.
Yeah.
He had the worst dice luck.
He didn't have a lucky familiar, huh?
He didn't. Yes, that's right. What was it? Someone, I think maybe it was Argentum, or someone said in the chat, RN Jesus wasn't with him.
Yeah, I saw something about that,
Jesus. I just got to wet me whistle.
All good? Be safe and wrap it.
I just realised what you said. Right then. You man. Let's just say hello to a few people in chat. I think we got Tim Hayes. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Good to talk to you on Twitter and in the comments section on my YouTube videos. Is that Shada? Crimson Shada. Good to see you, buddy. Right, so we will turn to 86. A leather pouch hanging round the neck of the man contains a small glass ball containing what looks like swirling smoke. Will you smash the ball on the ground, put the ball in your backpack, leave the ball behind and continue east?
Put the ball in the backpack.
Put your balls in your bag.
Keep them safe.
194. Sorry, what did you say?
I said keep them safe.
Of course. Best place for them. The smoke in the glass ball appears to vanish as you place it carefully in your backpack. Feeling slightly uneasy about your new treasure, you set off again east, turn to 161. The street makes a sudden turn left and continues north as far as you can see. However, you notice round the corner the houses are much bigger, with doorways some 4 meters high. On the left-hand side of the street, you see that a door to one of the houses is open. If you wish to enter the house, turn to 245. If you wish to keep going northwards, turn to 282. I have to keep checking that you're still there.
I am. Sorry, I'm just thinking.
So you can either enter the house or keep going northwards. Cliff Anderson. Also, times 5 and for GHAL. Interesting.
You, he
Do you know what
crayons.
that means?
Yeah. He sends me crayons as snacks. We're both Marines.
Interesting. It's code. You're sending yourself coded message through my the US military is using my show to pass around coded messages.
Well, that distracted me. Let's go with continue northwards.
Continue northwards. Okay. Are you sure? I mean,
Yes.
There's nothing like walking into someone's house randomly and, you know, just because the door's open.
I'd rather not be too daring right now. I just got to have to calm things down.
Okie dokie. 282. On the right-hand side of the street, you see a wooden barrel and a small boy sitting beside it on a stool. You wish to talk to the boy or keep walking north?
Talk to the boy.
Okie dokie. You say so.
It's probably
the small boy smiles and thrusts a mug into your hand. He tells you the barrel contains sparkling water which cures all ills, wounds and diseases. To fill the mug costs 3 gold pieces. If you wish to drink the water, turn to 233. If you would rather keep your gold and walk north, turn to 247.
Let's continue north.
I know what happened.
That sounds entirely too good to be true.
The street makes a sharp turn to the left and continues west for some distance. Turning the corner, you are suddenly jumped on by 3 short, stocky assailants who are hiding down an alley. To grab your legs... Oh, sorry. Not to grab your legs. To grab your legs. And 1. You see, it's not even spelt in the way that I said it. Mad. 2, grab your legs, and 1 tries to knock you out with a cudgel. You've got to test your luck. If you're lucky, you manage to duck and avoid the blow. If you're unlucky, the cudgel lands a heavy blow on the back of your head, knocking you unconscious. So, if you can, please give me a second.
Time's up.
Roll 2d6, and it has to be 12 or below to be lucky.
Okay.
A 2 and a 5. Lovely stuff. That's a 7. It's much less than 12.
Yay.
And so we'll reduce your luck score to 11. And we'll take your sheet back down. Okay, so you were lucky. You were lucky.
Woohoo.
You avoided the blow. Let's turn to 384. As the cudgel swings through the air above your head, you punch the dwarf holding it. He lets out a scream and drops the cudgel. Feeling his bleeding nose and seeing the blood on his hand, he screams again and runs down the alley. The other 2 dwarves holding your legs realize that you are not an easy victim and run off after their fellow robber. So if you wish to chase them down the alley, turn to 221. And if you wish to set off west again, turn to 396.
West. It is.
So you're not going to run after him?
Nope.
Okie dokie. They might have toys to play with. Never know.
They can keep them.
Anyway. Hey. Right, here we go. Set off west again. On the left-hand side of the street is a flower shop. The window is filled with exotic and colourful flowers. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 145. If you wish to keep walking west, turn to 24.
Let's enter the shop.
Okay. 145. Inside the shop, an old woman is busily watering the flowers and plants. She looks up and smiles, saying, "Good afternoon, my name is Mrs. Pipe. Can I interest you in one of my special flowers?" See, still Cockney. If you wish to see what she has to offer, turn to 293. If you wish to leave the shop, refuse politely and head west, turn to 24.
Let's accept the offer.
Excellent. Okay. She explains that she has just picked one of her golden flowers. There are 10 golden petals on the flower, and you are told that if dipped in a dog's blood, each petal plucked and thrown on the ground will change into a gold piece. Mrs. Pipe asks for any magic item, piece of armor, or food, meaning 2 portions of your provisions, in exchange for the golden flower. If you wish to trade with Mrs. Pipe, you may make the necessary changes on your adventure sheets. Whether or not you trade with her, we go to 24. So, would you like to trade any of your magic items, which you don't have, pieces of armor, which you don't really have, or 2 portions of your provisions for this golden flower?
And I have 10 provisions, right?
Yes. You can always ask the audience or phone a friend.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the decision, you can always backtrack.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, let's trade. Let's do it.
Okie dokie.
For food.
So, yeah. Take 2 off your provisions. Give you 8 there. And now you have the golden flower. Yay!
Cool.
And that's it. You've traded. Lovely. The free market wins again. So, turn to 24. You know what? I didn't log down. You backtracked. I didn't log down that paragraph. We'll get to it. Don't worry. There is another shop on the left side of the street. An iron grill over the window prevents you from seeing what kind of shop it is. You try the handle on the door and it turns. If you want to enter the shop, turn to 336. If you wish to continue west without looking in the shop, turn to 196.
Let's continue west.
Okie dokie. You arrive at a four-way junction in the street. The street continuing west changes its name to Key Street, and the street running north and south is called Market Street. Looking north, you see a crowd of people walking up the street, cheering loudly and waving their arms in the air. You decide to follow them. Doesn't really give you a choice.
Well then.
As you catch up with the chanting crowd, you can see that they are carrying eggs and rotten tomatoes. Soon the street opens out into a large market square. All round the edge are stalls with vendors and hawkers, musicians and entertainers carrying on their business. In the middle of the square is an elevated pillory. Above the noise of the crowd, a trumpet sounds, and the crowd starts a pelt a man in the pillory with rotten food. An old woman standing next to you offers you 2 eggs to throw. Not wishing to appear to be an outsider, you take the eggs and hurl them, but as you do so, the old woman picks your pocket, and without noticing, you lose 1 gold piece or any one item you may have. Unaware of your loss, you walk away from the crowd to look at the various stalls. So let's just bring up your adventure sheet. You can either get rid of 1 gold piece or it'll be a provision.
1 gold piece it is.
Fair enough. 29 left. These gold will be valuable. As a small hint, they will be needed a little bit later in the game. So if I can say something to you, is be thrifty with what you buy.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So we turn to 287 anyway. Nothing that we can do. Pardon?
I guess it's good I didn't take the advice or the drink.
Why? Have you looked up what it does?
No. But I kept my gold.
Ah. Indeed. Anyway, the food stalls are selling fruit and vegetables, meat and hot soup, corn and chestnuts for hungry shoppers. You may eat some of the hot food if you wish, pay 3 gold pieces and increase your stamina by 2 points. Pointless at this moment. Walking north along the west side of the square, you see a man dressed in a purple velvet playing a lyre. If you wish to stop and listen, turn to 3. If you would rather walk past him, turn to 398.
Let's have a listen.
Lovely. The man stops playing and tells you that he can bring you good fortune for the sum of 3 gold pieces. For the sum of 3 gold pieces, he will sing you a song that will bring you luck. If you wish to pay the musician, turn to 37. If you do not believe him, you may walk to the next stall. Now, just to put it out there, it's not going to put your luck up any higher than your initial luck score.
Okay. So let's not waste the money.
Okie dokie. So, because that'd be like 3 gold pieces for 1 luck.
Luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Okie dokie. If you do not believe him, you may walk to the next stall. And you're on page 3, aren't you?
Yes.
Here we go. A small circle of people is standing around a bare-chested man. He's enormous and his muscles are as hard as iron. He's asking the crowd for a volunteer to play catch with a cannonball. He states whoever drops the cannonball must pay the other 5 gold pieces. If you wish to take him on at his game, turn to 378. If you would rather walk on, turn to 52.
Let's walk on.
Okie dokie. You just milling through the crowd, not really, seeing. You're seeing, but not touching. You're like, don't want to get involved with that muscly man anyway. That greased up muscly man.
Not sure the risk is worth it.
I've heard stories about him anyway.
I guess it's a good choice.
You don't want to get mixed up with him, maybe. Right behind the next stall is a young man smelling weapons and items of equipment. The prices of his wares are chalked up on a slate. Throwing knives cost 4 gold pieces. Climbing rope is 2 gold pieces. Butcher's meat hook is 2 gold pieces. The iron spike is 1 gold piece. And a lantern is 3 gold pieces. If you wish to buy all or some of the items, make the necessary adjustments on your adventure sheet, and then you turn north. So, would you like... Sorry, I'll just bring that back down again. Would you like the throwing knife, the climbing rope, the butcher's meat hook, the iron spike, or the lantern? Or any of all of them?
Let's see. Let's get some rope.
Okay, climbing rope.
Yeah. And a lantern.
Absolutely nothing else?
Throwing knife, just to be safe. And that's it.
Okie dokie, so 4, 6, 9. Okay. You got 20 gold left. I'll throw your sheet up quickly, because I'm just editing it whilst you're looking at the screen.
I figured.
So, throwing knife as well. There you are. You got 20 gold left. Job's a good one.
Okay.
Get a meat hook.
Is that free advice, huh?
Charlie Bronson always carries some rope.
Should I know who Charlie Bronson is?
Well, it's either Charles Bronson, the actor, or Charlie Bronson, meaning Charles Bronson, the bloke. He's like the most infamous prisoner in Britain. So it depends on which one he's talking about.
Okay.
Anyway, back to it. You set off north, turn to 200. In the stall area, there is a small, brightly coloured tent. Attached to it is a small sign which says, Madame Star, Clairvoyant. If you wish to enter the tent, turn to 394. If you would rather continue north, turn to 117.
Continue on. I don't hold stock in clairvoyance.
She may have some interesting information for you. You never know. She may want to read your future and tell you what's going to happen later on in the story, since she's a clairvoyant.
Mm-hmm. And how much would
it
that
probably
cost?
means spending more money, though.
Yeah. Move on.
Okie dokie. At the end of the market, a street named Bridge Street runs north and out of the square. You decide to walk down it in the hope of finding the elusive Nicodemus. It starts to rain, and the tumble-down houses huddled together on either side of the street look as if they need shelter themselves. Most of their windows are boarded up and are empty. The door to one flaps noisily in the wind. If you wish to take refuge in the derelict house until the rain stops, turn to 188. If you would rather press on ahead, turn to 31.
Let's take refuge.
Okie dokie. 188. It is gloomy in the house, but you can make out the shapes of abandoned furniture. Litter and rubble is strewn all over the floor. You find a broken chair and slump down in it to rest. Suddenly, you notice something slither across the floor, and before you can get to your feet, you see in the half-light that you are encircled by 6 snakes, each a meter long. If you wish to hack at them with your sword, turn to 253. If you would rather make a dash for the door, turn to 15. However, I will just quickly remind you that you do have some lifelines. Boot boot.
Let's make a dash for the door.
Very well. Making a dash for the door. Here we go. Turn to 15. You leap over the snakes and run to the door. Test your luck. If you're lucky, you reach the door safely. If you're unlucky, one of the snakes strikes and bite you on the leg. So, can you test your luck, please, by rolling 2d6. And if it's 11 or below, you are lucky. Is that a 9 or a 6? Joking. So 3 plus 6 is 9. Yeah, so you are lucky. Excellent. Good job. Well done. First prize. Outside, the rain has stopped, and so you set off north again. Okay. Ahead, you see a wooden bridge stretching over a dirty river. Various bits of rubbish are floating down to the sea on its black surface, and you squirm at the sight of a human hand passing by. The bridge supports and columns reach high above, and you see skulls, both human and non-human, tied to them. The wind makes an eerie noise as it whistles through the bridge structures, reminding you of the tortured souls crying out for help. Almost hidden from view is a small flight of steps going down underneath the bridge. From where you're standing, a one-legged man carrying a sack is crossing the bridge from the northern bank. If you wish to climb down the steps, turn to 329. If you wish to wait and talk to the man, turn to 364.
Let's see, one-legged man carrying a sack. Let's talk to the man.
Wait and talk to the dude. Okay, the gaunt-faced man looks thoroughly miserable. He sees you and shrinks back, telling you that it's not worth robbing him because he has no money. You tell him that you do not wish to rob him, but you are seeking an old wizard named Nicodemus. He stares at you and with a surprised expression on his face and says, "For 2 gold pieces, I'll tell you where he is." You decide to trust the man and pay him for his information. He pockets the gold and says, "You're standing on top of him." Nicodemus lives in a hut underneath this bridge. He throws back his head and lets out a shrill laugh before hobbling off on his crutches, obviously pleased with himself. So you've lost 2 gold pieces. Just going to deduct those. You've got 18 now.
Very well.
So that's done. Whoops. So we're at a big paragraph now, so you know what that means. We're making progress. The smell by the watershed is terrible. Above you hear the sounds of the footsteps crossing the wooden bridge. Built into the foundations of the bridge is a wooden hut. Drawn curtains obstruct your view into the hut, but you know you are not welcome when you read the words "Keep Out" painted on the door in large red letters. You draw in a deep breath and knock the door. You hear muttering and shuffling of feet, and suddenly the door is thrown open. Before you stands a white-haired old man with a long beard wearing long white robes. He looks at you sternly and says, "Explain yourself to Nicodemus." You are elated at finding Nicodemus and tell him about Zambar Bone's reign of terror in the town of Silverton and why Owen Caroliff asked you to find his old friend and help him. Nicodemus frowns and walks back inside his hut, telling you to follow him. He sits down in a rocking chair and starts to speak in a calm voice. I am old and tired and wish for no more adventure. I live here under the Singing Bridge in Port Blacksand to escape the pleas for aid from people fallen on hard times. Hence, no one bothers me. But I do wish to help my old friend Owen. I will tell you how I defeated the Night Prince Zanbar Bone. Listen carefully. Remember, you may defeat him only after sunset. In daylight hours, he exists on another plane. No doubt, he will have servants to protect him, but should you get past them, you will need something special to deal with Bone himself. To protect yourself from the entrancing stare, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed... Sorry, you must have a white unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead. Normal weapons will not harm him. First, you must shoot him through the heart with a silver arrow. This will paralyze him, but not kill him. Then you must quickly rub the ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he will decay before you in seconds. If your arrow misses, I'm afraid you will die the moment he touches you. The items for the compound can all be found in Port Blacksand if you search hard enough. I regret I cannot accompany you. Nicodemus then draws you a map of how to reach Zambar Bone's guarded tower from Port Blacksand. He stands up and shakes your hand and wishes you well. You leave his hut, climb the steps, and cross the bridge over the Catfish River. Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. If you wish to walk west, down Harbour Street, turn to 91. If you wish to turn east, down Candle Street, turn to 38. Now, that was a lot to take in. So, is there anything that you want me to take down in the notes of the adventure sheet, or are you making notes yourself there on your paper?
I'm making notes. Let's see. After sunset. Not kill him.
Hello, Devastator. Good to see you. If you need me to scroll down, let me know. It's only there anyway. So the main information that you need is having the white
items.
Unicorn in a yellow sun tattooed on your forehead, a silver arrow to the heart, and ground compound of black pearl, hag's hair, and a lotus flower in his open eyes. With luck, he'll decay before you in seconds.
Okay.
If you let him touch you, you're dead. He's dead.
No touchy.
No touchy. No, don't touch me there.
And after sunset. Okay.
Yes.
Sunset. Noted.
So,
Map.
you leave his hut, climb the steps over the Catfish River bridge, and Bridge Street continues north a short distance before ending at a junction. If you wish to walk west down Harbour Street, turn to 91. If you wish to turn east down Candle Street, turn to 238.
Let's go down Harbour Street.
Second, 329. And we're going down Harbour Street, did you say?
Yes, sir.
Okie dokie, here we go. You pass a beggar on the street. He's sitting in the gutter and holds an empty tin in his hands. If you wish to toss a gold piece to him, turn to 322. If you would rather walk past him, turn to 124.
Let's walk past.
Okay. 124. A narrow alleyway runs south of the street. You know, I thought that was going to go a little bit differently. Maybe it's somewhere else in the story, and I'm thinking about a different decision. Never mind. Don't mind me. I'm only the games master. A narrow alleyway runs south of the street between two houses. If you wish to walk down the alleyway, turn to 326. If you wish to go along Harbour Street, turn to 180.
Continue along Harbor Street.
Dokie. Harbor Street, 180. Ahead, you hear the noisy clatter of galloping hooves on the cobblestone. You hear the noise of wooden wheels and an urging voice followed by the crack of a whip. Someone is rapidly approaching in a horse-drawn carriage. If you wish to see who it is, turn to 344. If you would rather hide out of sight behind a barrel and watch the carriage pass by, turn to 34.
See who it is.
Okay. 344. You step out into the middle of the street and wait. Suddenly, a pair of horses come galloping into view and an ornate gold carriage. The driver sees you and, cracking his whip, yells, "Make way for Lord Azure!" If you wish to step out of the path of the oncoming carriage, turn to 58. If you wish to stay where you are, turn to 252.
Move out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's fair enough, and you got two big horses in a gold carriage hurtling towards you. So step out the path.
Taking damage.
As the carriage thunders by, the driver lashes out at you with his whip. Lose 1 stamina point. You curse the driver of the carriage as it races out of view, rubbing your neck where the whip has raised a wheel. You set off again west, turning to 171. So just take your little 1 stamina point away. That's not bad. You've done well so far to not lose any.
Yeah.
Right, back to the story. 171. The street gradually starts to run downhill. The houses end at a tavern called the Black Lobster, and the street opens out into a quayside. A stone jetty runs out into the sea, and tied to it an old galleon. It's flying the Skull and Crossbones and is probably one of the many pirate ships that anchor in Port Blacksand to offload their booty. Harbour Street turns right at the jetty and runs north parallel to the shores as far as you can see. If you wish to walk down the jetty and climb on board the ship, turn to 399. If you wish to walk up north up Harbour Street, turn to 78.
Climb on board the ship.
That's my girl.
Arr.
You, as a girl, in those times, just deciding to, climb on board a pirate ship. A rope ladder hangs down from the stern of the ship to the jetty. There is also a gangplank leading up the side of the ship. If you wish to board the ship by the rope ladder, go up that way. If you wish to walk up the gangplank, turn to 294.
Gangplank.
Just balls deep, just going straight in there, sword drawn.
Own it.
At the top of the gangplank stands one of the ship's crew. On seeing you, he draws his cutlass and tells you to get off the ship. Get off my bridge. Be Voyager fans out there. If you wish to walk back down the gangplank and along the jetty and turn left up Harbour Street, turn to 78. Or if you wish to draw your sword and deal with this pirate, turn to 386.
Draw sword.
Nice. Okay. You've got a pirate on your hands. The pirate seems pleased that you wish to fight him and grins, revealing the toothless mouth, which unnerves you a little. The pirate has 7 skill and 5 stamina. So, on with the battle. Let the battle commence.
Yay.
So what was it? 7 skill, 5 stam. Right. Excellent. Right then, so with the normal rules in play, you can roll 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 3 and a 1. That gives them 11. And roll 2d6 for yourself, please. A 4 and a 4. That gives you 19. You've won that attack round, which means that you can deduct 2 from their stamina, giving them 3. Now you can either continue on or test your luck.
Continue on, please.
2d6, please, for the enemy. 2 and a 1. Oh. Doesn't matter much anyway. Like that 1. Gives them 10. And 2 for yourself, please. A 4 and a 4 again. Twice in a row gives you 19. You won that attack round. That brings them down to 1. You can either test your luck or you can try for another attack round.
Attack!
Do it! 2 for them, please. 4 and a 1 gives them 12. And if you don't mind rolling 2 for yourself, please. Yeah, you've won that one, no doubt. Well done. Congratulations, you've won your battle against the pirate. I'm just going to erase these scores from here.
I'm a fighter.
You are. I'm a survivor. Don't start twerking.
I can't.
Right.
My luck charm's in my lap.
What did you say?
I said my luck charm's in my lap.
Yes, you're familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Right then, you won. Congratulations, turn to 20.
Woo.
The pirate's pockets contain nothing apart from a piece of stale bread. You leave him to start search of the wooden boxes and barrels on the ship's deck. Turn to 84. The barrels all contain rotten fruit and boxes contain manacles and leg irons. Perhaps this is a slave trade ship. There is nothing else of interest on the deck. If you wish to walk over to the deck cabin and climb down the stairs to the lower decks, turn to 50. If you would rather leave the ship, walk back along the jetty and turn left and walk north up Harbour Street, turn to 78. I am going to suggest that perhaps you've come this far. Be ashamed to just, fight a pirate and then fuck off.
Oh, absolutely. And it could be a ploy. Maybe all the treasure's down below. And
it could be. What are you going to do with all that junk?
I'm going to go to the lower decks. Look for more.
Terrible Star Trek show.
Yeah.
The stairs lead down into the ship's cargo hold. It is empty. Opposite you, a corridor leads from the hold doors to 2 closed doors. You walk along the corridor and listen at the doors. From the door on your left, you hear a loud snoring. From the door on your right, you hear nothing. So, left or right?
Left.
Okay, we're going into the snoring.
Mm-hmm.
Asleep in their bunks are 3 pirates. Their room is small and contains only clothing and a few personal possessions. It looks as if the pirates have been drinking and gambling. There is an uncorked bottle of rum and a mug and a pack of cards on top of a barrel in the center of the room. You see that one of the pirates is wearing a small leather pouch around his neck. You wish to creep up and try to cut it loose. Turn to 162. If you would rather close the door again and not take any risks, turn to 284.
Cut it loose.
Let's see if you can cut this off his neck without cutting his head off. Test your luck. If you are lucky, you manage to cut the pouch loose without waking the pirates. If you are unlucky, the man's eyes flick open, and as you try to cut the cord, and he grabs hold of your arm while calling out to his mates for help. So, if you wouldn't mind, please, me love, 2d6, please, and it must be 11 or less. A 3 and a 5. Oh, do you know what? I didn't actually reduce your luck from last time, so
yeah,
it It's 10 or less, but you got 10 or less because you got 8. So well done there. You've tested your luck. You've won. And I think we should reduce your luck again by 9. Or 2-9, I should say. So you were lucky. And you cut it free. You tiptoe quietly out of the room and close the door. In the corridor, you open the pouch and find 6 black pearls. Where have we heard black pearls before? Add 2 luck points.
You forgot to remove the...
Oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I'll just listen.
Yeah, just hear it. So, you got 6 black pearls. Nice. And we get to add 2 more luck points back to your current luck, which is even nicer.
Indeed. And I've got items for my fight.
Maybe. So, if you have not already done so, you may open the door to the other side, or you can leave the ship and continue your search of Port Blacksand.
Let's open the other door. Go big or go
home. You risk taker. You daring devil, you. Right, the door opens into a small room, and in the center of which stands a steaming tub of hot water. If you wish to hide behind the door inside the room to see who is about to take a bath, turn to 12. If you would rather close the door, turn to 383. You want to wait and see Geralt coming?
Yes. Yes, I do.
In his bathrobe. So are we doing that? Sorry, are we waiting?
Yes, we're waiting.
Okay. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Fine. No, you're fine.
I'm trying to be a good games master. Right, here we go. Hiding behind the door. After a few minutes, you hear footsteps coming down the corridor. The door opens and no, not a tan. That's supposed to be a man. Surely. Maybe it's a tan man. Maybe it is Geralt. Anyway, walks into the room wearing nothing but a towel. I told you it's Geralt. Here we go. And around his fat stomach. Oh no, that's not him. You watch as he drops the towel. Ooh, a bit gay. No. You see, I think of it from the male perspective because I've always played this as a man.
Yeah.
Anyway, you watch as he drops the towel and lowers himself gently into the tub with a loud sigh. Ah, you know what it's like when you get into a bathtub.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you take baths?
I do. I was actually sore, so I took one last night.
A lot of people only have showers nowadays. You know what I mean? So like very fast-paced lives. So you just quickly jump in the shower. Don't give yourself time to have a soak in the bath.
Yeah. No, I like to relax every now and again, but that's the woman part of me.
Do you do
the what?
Wait, there's a female part of you. No, I'm joking, of course. So you do the candles around the bath and all that kind of stuff. Do you like the rose petals in the water?
No. I have the candle on the sink. I'd rather not accidentally burn myself because I'm not stupid. And
I mean, I try to put the candles around the outside and like I put some rose petals in the middle, but the shower just sprays on the the candles and washes the petals down the sinkhole. So
yeah,
doesn't work.
Seems like a bad idea.
Anyway, would you like to surprise the man by drawing your sword and uttering a loud ahem? Or would you rather creep out of the room, back into the corridor while he submerges himself?
Draw sword and utter an ahem.
Okie dokie. Another hyperlink that didn't hyperlink. Oh, what number is it? Christ. 176. Okay, sorry. Live editing. You can't see any of this because it's all in the background of Microsoft Word. 176, not 177. Right. Okay. I think we got it. We did it. We did it, folks. It's all right. Got my own battles going on. Sorry. Anyway, you wish to surprise him. So you tell the worried bather that despite your hatred for pirates, you will not harm him if he cooperates with you. You ask him if he has any of the items that you are searching for, but he replies, as the captain of the pirate ship, he does not need such things. You press the blade of your sword against his fat neck to make sure he is not lying. He looks terrified and assures you that he's telling the truth. Then he says, but I do know where you can get a silver arrow. Ben Borriman, the silversmith, will make anything silver at a price. You'll find him in Clog Street, and making a mental note of the information, you leave the shivering captain alone in his room, locking the door behind you. So, you making notes there yourself?
Yep.
Right. So, you've already opened the other door, so we're going to leave the ship now, go up Harbour Street, turning north, and to 78. The street runs north along the quayside for a few hundred meters before arriving at a junction. If you wish to continue north up Harbour Street, turn to 256. If you wish to walk east along Clog Street, turn to 216.
Clog Street it is.
I kind of feel like we've been to this chapter before. I'm just looking back through the choices, but no. 78 has not been here. So Clog Street. Clog Street is very narrow and lined with terraced cottages and the occasional shop. To your left, you see what looks like a small boy lying face down on the cobblestones, groaning loudly. A hood is pulled over his head and you cannot see his face. A wooden hoop and a stick lie by his side. Oh, remember them days, GHAL, when all we had was a hoop and a stick to play with in the street.
I never had that.
Wow, I was lucky. Well, I guess I was lucky. I mean, I was pretty poor. You know, I couldn't afford normal toys, so I had the hoop and the stick. But I was pretty poor, so I just had the stick.
Mm.
But you didn't have any of that. Wow, I feel so sorry for you. Anyway.
I mean, I had other things, but a hoop and a stick was not my jam.
It's not my bag. Anyway, so would you, if you wish to stop and help, turn to 72. If you wish to walk on, turn to 317.
Let's help him out.
Okay, 72. Oh, as you bend down to help the injured boy, he suddenly rolls over, and that's not supposed to say overland. It's supposed to say over, and you see the flashing blade of a dagger before your eyes. The boy is in fact a goblin thief, and you must fight him for your life. The goblin has a skill of 5 and luckily a stamina of 4, and if you win we will turn to 208. So battle music commence. Let's get your adventure sheet up. Skill of 5, stamina of 4. Roll 2d6 for the enemy, please, for this goblin bastard.
2d6.
2d6.
Well, I clicked it. Let's try again. There we go. Ah!
You see, it came through twice, so I'm going to take your first one, which was a 6 and a 2.
Okay.
Just to make it a little bit more interesting. They have 13. If you can roll 2 for yourself, please. A 1 and a 4. That gives you 16. You won that attack round.
Sweet.
Luckily, he's only got 4 stamina. You could test your luck right now. and, completely wipe him out if you win.
Nah, I'm gonna hoard my luck.
Okie dokie. 2d6 for the enemy, please. 2 4s. You like throwing those tonight.
Apparently.
Gives them 13. And if you can roll 2 for yourself, please. Oh, I'm going to take 2 and 3.
Oh, wait.
Hang on. 2. Was it 2 and 3? 2 and 4?
On my
Doesn't
side
matter
of
anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. You won. So you've won the battle. You've won the attack round, sorry. You've won the battle. Well done to GHAL. You've won your 3rd battle in a row without any damage whatsoever.
I'm here for it. I like it.
You are being extremely lucky so far.
I'm telling you, I'm not familiar.
It's the kitty cat. Regardless of my opinions. Sorry, what?
I said I'll convert you someday.
Yes, regardless of my opinions on cats, it seems to be doing you pretty well at the moment. So you won. Congratulations. Let's turn to 208. The goblin's pockets contain 2 gold pieces and a clove of garlic, and some old knuckle bones. Take what you wish and head east again along Clog Street. So, you can take the 2 gold pieces if you wish.
Yes, please.
Okay. It gives you 20 gold again. And then there is the cloves of garlic, or the clove of garlic.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the equipment, I'm allowed to fill up both columns.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's take it all, please.
Okie dokie. Garlic.
If I was
and
like
what
garlic.
was the other thing? I love garlic. Garlic and chili.
Garlic and ginger for me.
Oh yeah, garlic, chili, and ginger.
Valid.
That's that's the one right there. Right, knucklebones, garlic, and the 2 gold. That's added. Let's crack on.
All right.
Heading east again along Clog Street. One of the shops to your left is a candle maker's. There are many different coloured candles brightly burning in the window. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 241. If you wish to continue east, turn to 280.
Let's go into the shop.
Getting a candle.
Let's check it out.
Inside the shop, you see a tall, thin man with pointed ears and fair hair pouring hot wax from an iron pan into a mould. The candle maker is an elf. As he turns to speak, you notice his slanted eyes. Oh, that's a bit...
I know.
Anyway. It was a different time, folks. These are from when I was a kid. Which are eyes... Pardon?
It's not like you called him that.
Well, I guess not, yeah.
It was a descriptor.
Yeah. Knife ears and slanty eyes. Which are ice blue. For some reason, they appear very cold to you. He tells you that all his coloured candles cost 1 gold piece each. You may buy as many as you wish. He then asks you, would you like to see one of his magic candles in the back room? If you wish to see one... Is this Dermy dressed up as an elf?
Do I chance?
He's just he's taped his eyes back.
Oh my goodness.
So would you like to see one of these mysterious magic candles in the back room, or would you rather leave his shop?
I'll leave the shop. I don't need Dermy's magic candles.
No one needs Dermy's magic candles. Turn to 63. I gotta say, that was probably a wise choice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seemed like
I'm supposed to go back. Sorry. Give me a second.
problem.
241. It was 241. 241. 241. If I keep saying it, I'll get there quicker. Right, so you don't wish to see one. You wish to go east.
Indeed.
And so further along the street on the left is another shop, a sign outside reading Ben Borryman, Silversmith. If you wish to enter the shop, turn to 213. If you would wish to keep going east, turn to 100.
I feel I should go in the shop.
I reckon you might want to go in there based on some advice that someone might have given you recently.
Yeah, it seems like a good choice.
So, a man wearing a white apron is sitting at a bench busily polishing a silver goblet. There. Pause for effect.
Yes, no.
There are several silver objects in a glass cupboard secured by an iron grill at the back of the shop. You may talk to the silversmith, attack him with your sword, or leave the shop and continue east.
Now, those are interesting choices. Let's just talk to the man first.
Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to just lunge at him?
I'm good.
Okay.
You know, he hasn't done much right now.
248 it is. Did that tickle you? Okay. You ask Ben Borryman if he has any silver arrows for sale. He replies that he does not, but he will make one for you at the cost of 10 gold pieces or 2 magic items. If you cannot afford his asking price, turn to 85. If you can afford his asking price, turn to 85. If you cannot afford the price, turn to 42. So you can afford it. So I guess we'll turn to 85.
Yep.
Didn't really give you much of a choice there. It's kind of like... I kind of feel like sometimes playing these books is a little bit like playing one of those... what are they called? Telltale Stories games. Have you seen them? Like it's a computer game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a video game. It's like choose your own adventure, but it's not really choose your own adventure because no matter what you choose, it always starts in the same place and it always ends in the same place.
Right.
It's not. I don't like that. Anyway, you ask Ben Borryman, yada yada. So we turn to 85. Okay. You pay the silversmith and wait patiently while he makes a silver arrow for you. Finally, he presents you with it and assures you that it will be completely accurate in flight. You thank him for his troubles and leave his shop. So we'll just deduct those 10 gold pieces. Luckily, you have 20.
Yep.
Or, no, you haven't got any magic items, have you? I don't know, with the black pearls? Nah, they're not. So anyway, you got 10 gold left. Anyway, I'm the game master. That's what I'm saying. You've got 10 gold left.
Okay. I'm fine with it.
You soon arrive at a junction. If you wish to turn north onto Tower Street, turn to 127. If you wish to continue east onto Stable Street, turn to 246.
Let's take Stable Street.
Okie dokie, 246. As you walk wearily down the narrow cobbled streets, you are suddenly confronted by a little old man who dashes out of one of the houses. He pulls a dirty bottle out of a canvas bag. As he speaks, he can't help but staring at the large wart. You can't stop staring at the large wart on his nose with its tuft of hair. Molly. He smiles and asks you if you would like to pay 2 gold pieces for a drink of his wonderful healing potion. If you wish to pay for the drink, turn to 98. If you would rather keep going east, turn to 363.
No, thank you. I don't want your dirty bottle juice.
No, thank you. Okay. In the middle of the street, you see a large manhole cover. If you wish to lift the manhole cover to see where it leads, turn to 48. If you wish to keep walking east, turn to 205.
Oh, absolutely. Lift the manhole cover.
Oh, yeah.
Quote me on that.
You can take that to the bank. Okay, 48. There is an iron ladder secured to the rim of the hole, descending into a tunnel below. It is dark and very unpleasant. A smell rises up from below. If you wish to climb down the ladder, turn to 321. If you wish to replace the manhole cover and continue east, turn to 205.
Let's do a poll in chat.
Interesting. Interesting indeed.
I lean one way, but I'd love to see their opinion. An unpleasant smell doesn't bode well.
No, it does not. Right, so hang on. What are the choices? Climb down the ladder or replace the manhole cover. Start a poll. So this is your ask the audience, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Down ladder or replace man's hole. So, there's your poll. Chat. Please do vote away in the chat now. And we'll give it about 15 seconds, I think. It's 10 seconds, maybe.
Don't fail me, chat. I'm lying.
I'm going to play that again. Give you another 15 seconds. The banger of a tune this is.
Right. I like it. Mysterious. But exciting.
Exciting.
Interesting.
So I think we're going to end the poll there. And it looks like the majority of the people say replace the manhole cover.
Not very adventurous they are. Then let's replace the manhole cover.
Oh no! How boring!
I find them wise.
Okie dokie. Replace the manhole cover and go 205. After replacing the manhole cover, you set off east again. Everything seems a little too quiet and you begin to feel nervous. Ahead, you see that Stable Street turns sharply to the left. If you wish to walk around the corner, turn to 44. If you wish to go back to the junction and turn right onto Tower Street, turn to 127.
Let's move on to Tower Street.
Righty-ho. One, 2, 7. Just ahead of you, 3 men are involved in a fight. The 2 younger men appear... 3 men, yeah? The 2 younger men appear to be attacking the older man with an iron bar. If you wish to help the old man, turn to 177. If you would rather avoid the brawling men, continue north, turn to 348.
Help the old man.
Aww. That's just like you as well. Like the real life you. Aww. You wish to help the old man. Unfucking lucky. Right, so you draw your sword and rush to help the old man. He is lying on the ground and the other 2 men are beating him and trying to take his leather bag. You call out and they turn to attack you. You must fight them one at a time. Oh, so you got 2 robbers and they are beating the shit out of this old bloke and you've intervened, and the first one has got a skill of 7 and a stamina of 8. So let's get into battle mode. Skill of 7, stamina of 8. Looks like the other one is a little bit tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so start the attack round by rolling 2d6 for the enemy, please. A 5 and a 2 gives them 14. And if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. Nice. 6
Yay.
and a 5 gives you 22. That's a nice high score. Gives them 2 less. They've got 6 now. So you can either test your luck or continue on.
Let's continue.
2d6, please. 6 and a 3. That gives them 16. And if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. 6 and a 1. And that gives you 18. You just got it in, but you got that attack round as well. Well done. They're down to 4 now. So either continue on or test your luck.
Let's continue.
2d6, please. I'll take it as a 1 and a 4.
Yeah,
It
that's
gives
what
them
it
12.
shows on mine.
And 2d6 for yourself, please. 6 and a 3. That gives you 20. Nice one. You've got them down to a stamina of 2 now. So either test your luck or attack round.
How does testing the luck work again?
So if you roll 2d6 now and you get an 11 or below, that will reduce their stamina by another 2. So they're at 2 now. If you're lucky, it will wipe this enemy out.
Okay. And if I use it, I get reduced to 10.
Yeah, your luck will be
Right.
reduced to 10.
Let's carry on.
Okie dokie, 2d6 for the enemy then, please. 5 and a 3 gives them 15. And if you can roll 2 for yourself, please. 5 and a 1 gives you 17. You just scraped in there again. That means you've won that attack round. You've won that battle. Or that, at least for that pair of... and how many was that? 4 attack rounds. Excellent. So, the next one is 8 and 8. So, as with the first enemy, if you could roll 2d6. That's a 6 and a 2. Gives them 16. And if you can roll 2 for yourself, please. 3 and a 6. That gives you 20. You won that attack round. Reduces them down to 6. And if you can roll either test your luck, or continue on the next attack round.
I will continue.
Okay, 2d6 for the enemy then, please. 5 and a 2 gives them 15. And if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. A 4 and a 6 gives you 21. Nice. That's a nice high score. Nice. So do you want to test your luck at all?
Let's carry on.
Okie dokie, 2d6 please. 5 and a 2 gives them 15 again. And if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. A 3 and a 6, that gives you 20. Nice high rolls, I gotta say. You are beating. Sorry, what?
I said I support this.
I am GHAL and I support this message. So you can either use your luck, and if you're lucky, you'll wipe this guy out, or just go for the next attack round.
I'll go in for the attack.
Okay, 2d6, please. A 1 and a 4. That's what we need. A nice low score for them. 13 and 2 for yourself. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
baby.
how you do it. So you win that attack round. Congratulations once again. That's your 4th in a row without taking any attack damage whatsoever. So well done. Well done, you.
Thank you.
Smoo did not fare that well. I've got to say, he really struggled.
Hopefully he's not watching, lurking, crying.
Getting jealous. Yeah. Never mind. Anyway, well done. 2 robbers down without a problem. You perfected them. Anyway, so it's what I do, baby. You walk over to the old man and you help him to his feet. He's very grateful and offers to buy you a drink at a nearby tavern. If you wish to go for the drink, go to 325. If you wish to continue your quest, turn to 348.
Oh, let's definitely go for a drink. Refresh yourself.
I think so. What is that?
That's my refrigerator. I apologize.
Wow.
It's right next to me.
It sounded like it was going to fucking take off.
That's what I get a lot.
Wow. I was getting
say the
Nam
other thing.
flashbacks for a second there. Yes, Abe. It's a fix. Nice. Oh.
Yeah, that's the other thing that it gets called. Yep.
Oh my. Where is the option to aid the young punks?
Well, you never know in these streets. It could have been the old man.
Wipe them out, all of them. Why is this chat? I'm just going back through some of the messages that I've missed.
fine.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Yes, I think this chat is wise, don't you?
I do.
Girl?
I trust them.
You may have
They would
needed
never
something.
do the wrong way.
You may have needed something down in that sewer. You may have needed
Yeah.
something. We'll find out a little bit later, I guess.
True enough.
Anyway, you wish to go for a drink?
Yes.
You follow the old man through the swinging doors of the Hog and Frog Tavern. What a fucking name. The Hog and the Frog Tavern. He tells you to sit down at a small table in the corner, and while he shuffles over to the bar to buy the drinks, there are several shifty-looking characters sitting at nearby tables, but they do not seem interested in you. Soon the old man comes back to the table carrying 2 wooden mugs filled to the brim with cider. Do you like cider?
I do. I love cider.
Yeah, well, you know, hard cider, not apple cider. Yeah, okay.
I love both.
Yeah, apple juice is nice. Anyway, once seated, he opens his leather bag and places 2 small pots on the table. He opens one and rubs the white cream in the pot on his wounds. He smiles and tells you that he is a chemist by trade and that you should rub some of the creation on your wounds too. You take his advice and are surprised to feel the healing effect of the cream working quickly. Add 5 stamina points. So let me just bring up your adventure sheet because we can at least take you all the way up to the top now. Which is 1 whole point.
Yay!
But at least you're up there.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. So after finishing your drink, you say goodbye to the chemist and leave the tavern and head north. Not like the local chemist down at our pub. The Tower Street makes a sharp turn to the right, going east between tall buildings. An iron bridge crosses overhead between 2 of the buildings, and you see movement on it. Small cloaked people are carrying laden sacks between the buildings, apparently in a great hurry. If you wish to call out to them, turn to 251. If you wish to walk under the bridge and continue east, turn to 30.
Call out to them.
Roger, roger. 251.
They may be in a hurry, but maybe they have info.
One of the small people stops and looks down at you. He mistakes you for a town guard and calls out to his accomplice to run for cover.
Oh.
He then points a short crossbow at you and fires a bolt. Test your luck. If you are lucky, the bolt thuds into the ground at your feet. If you are unlucky, the bolt lodges deeply in your shoulder. So, let me just get your adventure sheet up. And you've got to get 11 or low on 2d6, please. Yeah. Easy. Easy stuff. You see that smooth? That's how it's done.
Smooth.
Ah, fuck him. I'm joking. I love you, Smooth. Oh, bugger. I messed it all up now. There we go. It's back to normal. So you were lucky.
Yay. I try.
You did. You're very trying. Why does that keep doing that? What did you say, love?
I said that's what I get for saving my luck.
Exactly. The little man with the crossbow curses before running into the building to your left. There does not appear to be an easy way to catch him. Soon you walk under the bridge and continue east. God damn it. Tower Street soon ends at a junction where it meets Stable Street running north and south. You decide to go north. Thanks for the choice. To your left, you see a large wooden barn set back from the houses. 2 horses are tied to a post outside the barn, and smoke rises from a crooked chimney on top of its low, flat roof. If you wish to walk through the barn doors, turn to 25. If you would rather continue north, turn to 115.
Go through the barn doors.
Okay.
The stat sheet is up, by the way.
Oh, yes. My apologies.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. You soon realize you are in a... You don't fucking say. You soon realize you are in a stable when you see a large, bare-chested man. Why is that the trigger for being in a stable? Anyway, you see a large, bare-chested man wearing a grubby white apron, busy at work at the open fire. He takes a red-hot iron bar from the fire with his gloved hand and starts to hammer it into the shape of a horseshoe on his anvil. Sweat pours from his brow and he toils with the hammer. Will you make conversation with the blacksmith, attack him with your sword, or leave him to his labours and continue north?
Make conversations.
Make convo. Jolly good. Talk to this sweaty old man.
So, if he's wearing a white apron, is he really bare-chested?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe it's hanging like directly round his waist. You know, like he's got it tied round his waist. But he's like Gendry when we first meet Gendry in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Possible.
That was a hot scene. Go. Anyway, the blacksmith removes his gloves and wipes his hands on his apron before asking you what you want. You answer by asking if he makes anything You answer by asking if he makes anything besides horseshoes. He replies that in his spare time he enjoys making chainmail coats. In fact, it has become quite profitable a quite profitable sideline of his, especially in a place like Port Blacksand. He tells you in great detail of the skill and labour that goes into making one, and finally, do you know what? I think something's happened to the sound, because I am really having trouble at the moment keeping up with myself. Anyway, goes into making one and finally inquires if you are interested in buying one. They are not cheap. You wish to pay 20 gold pieces for a chainmail coat, turn to 46. You don't have the money for that, I'm afraid, because you only have 10 gold. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm afraid you're going to have to leave without buying that.
Unfortunate.
Coming towards you as fast as he is able, a man in tattered rags with a ball and chain attached to his leg. He's exhausted and collapses in your arms. His face is dirty and unshaven. With great difficulty, he managed to speak, saying, "Please, cut me free. The town guards are not far behind me. I have been locked in a dungeon for 2 years, but managed to tunnel my way out. I was robbed and unable to pay my taxes, so Lord Azure ordered that I should be jailed for 5 years. Please help me." Farther up the street, you hear shouting voices, and then armed men come into view. You want to cut through their chains with your sword, turn to 90. If you want to hand him over to the town guards, turn to 274.
I don't understand why they attach a woman to his leg, but all right. He's married, he's married. Let's go ahead and cut through the chains, or attempt to do so. Probably going to steal my luck.
Maybe. Who knows? Till we turn the page. Go into 90. You swing your sword with all of your strength and bring it down on the heavy chain. Much to your surprise, it bounces off. Really? Before you have time to try again, you are surrounded by 4 town guards who are pointing their pikes at you. Will you tell them you have caught the escaped prisoner for them? Or offer them a bribe to let you and the prisoner go free?
Caught the escaped prisoner.
Haha! Everyone's got a price. You tell the town guards that you are a bounty hunter. GHAL, the bounty hunter! With your long flowing... Yeah. Never mind. Anyway. That's what's under that hat, isn't it? It's a mullet. Are you wearing your hat today?
Let
me just look. Wearing your hat today. You are?
It's rare that I don't.
Anyway, they seem pleased that you have caught their wanted man. The chief guard walks over to you and hands you 5 gold pieces. Nice. Saying, "This murderer won't escape again. Here's your reward." Yay! He rejoins the other guards who are busy chaining up the escaped murderer. You decide to head quickly north in case the murderer tries to implicate you. So,
that'll be smart.
5 gold pieces. Nice. Get them in your doobry. We are 15 gold pieces now.
Sweet.
Lovely. Sweet. It's hella sweet. You decide to head quickly north, turn to 222. On the right hand side, the houses are separated from the street by a wooden fence with shrubs, trees, bushes and flowers behind it. There is a turnstile in the middle of the fence, by the side of which is a sign reading "Public Gardens. Entry fee 1 gold piece." If you want to go into the gardens, turn to 370. If you would rather keep on walking, turn to 133.
The gardens it is.
The gardens. In the garden of black sand, baby. So we'll take away one of those gold pieces for you. I'm not going to bring it up on the screen, but if you really want to see that I've deducted it to 14 pieces, you can. You place the coin in the slot, ladies, and walk through the turnstile. Although the flowers and the shrubs are not outstanding, you are nevertheless surprised that such a place exists in Port Blacksand. The gardens are not very large, extending back some 60 meters where some houses back onto them. There are 2 paths to follow, one of which runs round the edge of the gardens and one that leads directly into the centre, where there is some topiary. Each shrub has been cut into the shape of an animal, and you decide to take a closer look. The path leads into a small paved area surrounded by the animal-shaped shrubs. In the middle, there is a stone plinth upon which sits a large earthen bowl containing flowers. There is a painted sign which reads, "Do not pick the flowers." The gardener is nowhere to be seen, and there is nobody else about. If you wish to risk picking one of the flowers, turn to 14. If you would rather leave the gardens and continue north, turn to 133.
Oh, it's all about the risk most of the time. Let's go ahead and pick a flower.
Pick that flower. As soon as you pluck one of the flowers, you hear the noise of rustling leaves. 3 of the animal-shaped hedges have uprooted themselves and are closing in on you. Do you have the ring of fire? If you do, turn to 237, but you do not. Turn to 191.
There goes my luck. Oh
Dearie me. You draw your sword to defend yourself against the advancing leaf beasts. They all attack you at once, seemingly trying to crush and smother you. Treat the leaf beasts as a single creature. Life beasts, skill 6, stamina 6. Okie dokie. Let's do this thing. Let's get on with the battle. Bring your adventure sheet up. Skill of 6, stamina of 6. 6 and 6. And we'll start the attack round. 2d6, please. Do it.
roll!
Roll. That gives them 11. Oh, let's just take these old scores out. There we go. 11. And these go up to 11. And if you can roll 2d6 for yourself, please. 2 and 1. That gives you 14. That means you win that attack round. Nice. They're down to 4. And test your luck or next attack round.
Attack.
Okay, do it. 2d6. 5 and a 2 for them. Gives them 13. And 2 for yourself, please. Ooh, that was close. Nearly snake eyes. Well, you still won that attack round. You got 15. Brings them down to 2. Next attack round.
Let's attack.
Do it. 2d6, please. 1 and a 5 gives them 12. Pretty easy beasts. 2d6 for yourself. Sorry, what did you say?
I said you say that now, but let's see this roll. Okay.
You did pretty well.
I try.
3 and a 6 gives you 20, which is a super high score against their 12. That means you win the attack round. You've destroyed the monster, the leaf beasts, or the monsters. The leaf beasts are no more. So well done, GHAL. You've done it again without any attack damage to yourself. Fantastic. If you win, you run back to the turnstile, still clutching the... Oh, yes, because you picked up one of the lotus flowers, yeah. Didn't you need that?
I did indeed. That's why I
You
picked it.
did. Interesting. Let's just stick that in your adventure sheet. Lotus. There we go. Lovely.
Cliff thinks I have hacks.
Maybe, mate. I mean, you have been incredibly lucky to get this far. We've gone, like, you didn't really start playing the game until about 22, quarter 2. So we've been going about 1 3/4 hours, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Would it be 2 hours? Anyway,
Yeah,
doesn't
2 hours
matter.
and some change.
Yes. Continue on with the adventure. She is pretty lucky. Okie dokie, let's carry on. So the street ends at a junction with Mill Street and runs east and west along the city wall. Looking east, you see a group of town guards marching towards you, and you decide to walk quickly along Mill Street. On your left, you see a narrow lane, and ahead you see a young lad coming towards you, pushing a barrow laden with fruit. If you wish to walk down the lane, turn to 182. If you wish to buy some fruit from the barrow boy, turn to 160.
Let's keep walking.
Keep walking, nothing to see here. The lane ends at a small shop. On the glass pane door is a painted sign saying Jimmy Quicktint, best tattooist in town. A tiny bell rings as you push the door, and a fat man wearing a purple silk smiles in greeting. You are surprised to see that his arms, hands, feet, and even his face are completely covered in colourful tattoos. He grins and says, "Practice what you preach." You tell him that you require a yellow sun to be tattooed on your forehead with a white unicorn in the center of it. He replies that that is a simple task, but it will cost you 10 gold pieces. If you can afford it, then turn to 279. If you can afford it. There we go.
I was going to say, if I have a bird on my shoulder that pays, I'll let him do it.
So looking at your gold, you can afford it. Turn to 279. So turn to 279 quickly, and we'll just bring up your adventure sheet just to show you that we are deducting the 10 gold. So now you have 4 left.
Do it.
Yeah, it's dwindling. He takes the money and motions you to sit down on a wooden stool. After a long and painful process of repeatedly pricking your forehead with a sharp needle, he applies the indelible inks. You look in the mirror on the wall and find your new appearance somewhat strange. You shrug your shoulders and leave the shop. Then you walk back up the lane and turn left into Mill Street. Walking towards you along the streets are 2 huge guards wearing the black uniform of Lord Azure. As they get closer, you see that they are trolls, brutal mercenaries employed by Lord Azure as Imperial elite guards. To your right, there is a tree which reaches almost to the top of the city wall. If you wish to risk walking past the trolls, turn to 290. If you wish to climb the tree in order to get over the wall, turn to 11.
Oh, let's climb the tree.
Okay. 307 you're on. Climbing the tree to number 11. The troll... Aye? Yeah, okay. The trolls see what you are doing and run towards the tree. You are forced to leave your shield behind, lose 1 skill point. Ooh, unlucky. After climbing quickly up the tree, you realize that you must jump a distance of 2 meters. The branch... You realize that you must jump a distance of 2 meters between the branch and the top of the wall. If you are wearing a chainmail coat, you will have to take it off. The good thing you didn't have the money to buy that at the time. You will have to take it off in order to jump safely across the wall, lose 2 skill points, but don't worry, you're not... Oh, hang on. Hang on. You're wearing a chainmail. Yeah, you don't have to. Below, you see the 2 trolls are running around the tree waving their swords at you like it's some sort of fucking Benny Hill episode. There is no alternative but to jump. So, we'll take 1 skill point away, I'm afraid. That's a bit unlucky.
It happens.
So you got 10 to fight with now. But you also have the potion of skill, so if you lose too much, you never know. That. Yeah. Put your adventure sheet down. The trolls... Oh no, I've done that. On to the next one. It's a close shave, but you manage to grip the edge of the wall with your fingertips. You pull yourself up and climb onto the stone walkway along the city wall. On either side of you are stone towers rising above the battlements, spaced some 100 meters apart. There are doors in the towers, both of which are suddenly flung open as more guards run out to capture you. There is a 20-meter drop on the other side of the wall. Will you jump to freedom, fix a climbing rope, if you have one, to the wall and climb down the other side, or face the oncoming guards?
Let's use that climbing rope.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to take out the climbing rope from your doobry.
Okay.
Fix the climbing rope to the wall if you have one and climb down the wall. 108. You lower yourself slowly to the ground. Above you, the guards are waving their fists at you from the battlements. You are now outside Port Blacksand. Do you have all of the necessary items required to slay the Night Prince? If you have them all and you've been tattooed, turn to 201. If you lack any of the items or have not been tattooed, turn to 299.
I am missing the hag's hair.
You are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Unlucky.
Indeed.
Well, you know, you do have a lifeline.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Do I have to... Well, I guess it's a different choice. Like, does that erase everything else I've done?
No, it'll only take you back to the previous paragraph, which was 358. So you can either make the choice to jump again, fix a rope to the wall, or you can face the guards. I wouldn't want to jump, would you?
No.
And knowing now that you're outside of the town, regardless of whether you use a rope or not.
But we also
So
don't know what 299...
You can either backtrack.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll even allow you to use your phone a friend, so you can ask one person in the audience, if you like, whether or not you should use your backtrack.
Let's do that, actually.
Backtrack or phone a friend?
Phone a friend.
Okay, then. So, who are you picking in the chat to ask the question?
I am picking... Legatus.
Legatus Legionis, are you still out there, buddy? We need your help. We're summoning you. GHAL needs you. Make this decision for her. Should she use her backtrack? If she uses her backtrack, she will be transported to the previous paragraph where she had to either jump from the wall, use the rope, which is what she did, or face the guards. If she jumps from the wall or uses the rope, well, it doesn't really matter because you're going to be outside of the walls. So the only reason why you would backtrack is because you want to face the guards, basically. So should she, Legatus, face the guards or continue on her journey without the hag's hair?
He's sad because I'm putting the choice on him, it seems.
He's a very good mod, but is he a good decision maker when it comes to the crunch?
It's a good question.
I'm going to give you I think it was 2 guards, so one on either side. There were two battlement doors, and both doors were flung open at the same time. So I'm assuming that it's 2 separate guards. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna have to push you for an answer, so I'm just gonna... Once this finishes, you'll have to put something in the chat. Should she choose the guards? She can do the guards. Awesome. Okay. Is that what you... So you don't have to take his decision?
No, let's go ahead and do it. Let's backtrack.
Okay. So you get your rope back, by the way.
Sweet.
Climbing rope is back in your inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And the last paragraph was 358. So 358. Face the oncoming guards. Turn to 56.
Oh,
There
no.
are over 20 guards coming to get you, and it is useless to put up a fight. They drag you off to a room at the bottom of the tower and chain you to a wall. To your horror, you see the 2 trolls enter the room. They take it in turns to beat you before passing a sentence of 5 years solitary confinement in a dungeon cell. A few minutes later, a hunchback jailer arrives carrying a bull-hide whip. He fixes a ball and chain to your leg before leading you downstairs to begin your jail sentence. You have failed in your mission, and I'm afraid, GHAL...
Cursed me with that lucky comment.
After all that work...
The perfect scores.
I am so sorry that you crashed out in such a terrible, the most terrible point to crash out.
Right.
Yes, indeed, Crimson.
That is absolutely correct, Crimson.
It was a brave choice, but I'm afraid it was the wrong choice.
Damn it. Yes,
Well-
Cliff, I know. You are laughing maniacally. I was going to make that comment.
We can't have
I
someone beat the
trusted
books.
I trusted you.
You didn't have to take it. You could.
Don't you start with your logic. Do I get to cheat and see what the 299 brought me? Since I lost.
You could, but it would be a bit pointless because it would just be the next paragraph.
Yeah.
But I'll show you what 299 was. 290.
And I know you want food. It's too early. Oh, it's not food time. Especially as many of the tacos and recognize you, there's nothing else you can do to make the long walk back to the Silverton fort that you failed in your mission. Oh, well, I lost either way, so.
So you know for the next time
Yep.
that the
Go down.
only way that you can really leave Port Black Sand is with all the items, but
Yeah.
you know not to go that way next time.
Yep.
However, Gal, you have played the longest game in the history so far. So, well done. Congratulations. But
That's
what that
awesome.
also means is that you've played long enough for us not to play another game.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm afraid it would take us past the the time limit, basically,
Right.
that I usually allot for this. So I guess basically what I mean is, if we start a new game now, we'll be going on way too long. So I have to end it here.
Yeah. It's okay. That's what I get for dying.
Yeah, right. That's what you get for taking the advice of, critically acclaimed mods.
I did it myself. I would have failed either way. This one really, really was my fault.
I do feel really genuinely sorry for you, because you got so far and you were so extra lucky. Those battles were immaculate. Every single one of them you did perfectly. But unfortunately, this is where your adventure ends. So
it's okay.
Yeah. How have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh my god, that was so much fun. I loved it.
Good. I hope to get you back again soon.
Yeah.
You want to do this again? Yay! I like it when my guests want to come back. It means they had a good time.
Yes, I definitely did. This gets my brain going.
So this did get some, and you've been making your notes as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got full pages.
Wow, I am impressed. I am definitely impressed. Did you make a map as well?
No, I thought I was too late in my thinking. I had forgot to put them down. I think it was 4 paragraphs in. I was like, crap, because that's what this page was labeled to. I'm like, well, I'm screwed there. I don't remember all the terms and stuff. So I just used it as a different note-taking thing.
The interesting thing now is that you could go away, now that you know what book you played, you could go away and research the book, because, I mean, these books are 40 years old, 45 years old.
Oh.
And so you could go back and look at all the work that all the other people have done. So people have actually made maps for this book, and they've made them all fancy and everything, artwork and stuff.
I like it. I might do that, actually.
Yeah. And then the next time you come on, who knows? Maybe you'll get the opportunity to play it again.
Yeah.
You might not, though.
Right. Or I might choose a different book, even if I do.
Yeah. Completely different book. Anyway, we will be saying goodbye to you very shortly. But before we do, I'd love you to shill your wares.
Oh, well, I missed it this week because of unfortunate circumstances, but every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, I do a stream called Cooking the Books. Jack brought it up earlier, where I take the book list collecting dust in the corner and read it to you so you don't have to, because nobody has time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I am a panelist on Static 2020's weekend pregame in about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to make dinner and be a little late to it, but he'll forgive me. And then Ballbusters on Fridays. I produce for Dermy Wormy, where he tortures himself for money. And we talk about things sometimes too. Basically, all of the panelists make it a goal to make him talk about to not let him talk about his topics as much as possible. So,
yes.
And then, of course, on Saturdays, I'm also on Screaming Into the Void. Samuel the Infamous, who was in the chat earlier a little bit. And that's his channel. Yeah.
I missed him.
He popped in for a quick second. He was listening while he works, I'm assuming.
Never mind. Well, all of GHAL's links are down in the description below. I would like to say thank you so much to GHAL for coming on the show. Green-haired anti-liberal. Thank you. I hope to see you again soon. But until next time, I'm going to pop you into the back. If you do need to go, right now, then I don't mind if you want to just get off.
Yeah.
But if you want to stick around, I'll see you in a moment.
If I had the time, I would stay. But thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you inviting, and I loved it.
Great. I'm so happy, and thanks again for coming on. Everybody, green-haired, anti-liberal. Take care. See you soon. Bye. For me, though, I am GHAL Lad. I am GHAL Lad on all of my socials. I've got my things down in the description below. you wouldn't mind doing all the things and the stuff. Also, do these things, subscribe, click the notification bell, and get a thumb, stick it right up in there. On Tuesdays, I'm putting a little bit of hiatus at the moment on the Vice City streams, just because of family stuff. On Wednesdays, I'm on the Hump Day Chinwag with Tomby and the crew. Next Thursday, we have one of our fellow members on the Hump Day Chinwag. We have got Greg Phillips, Hadath Gaming, coming on the show. So he will be our next guest adventurer, beach jamming. But let's just say thank you to some of you in the chat there. We've got Steve, of course. We've got Legatus. We've got Bendover, Crimson Shadow. Who else is in here? Cliff, good to see you. I hope to get a subscription out of you. Thank you very much, Abe. Crimson Shadow. Did I already say Crimson? And we've had Weasel in the chat as well. And we've also had Natty McBatty was here earlier. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here. And I guess until next time. Oh, there he is. Samuel the Infamous. Rick Cleary as well. Thank you. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks to all of you. Until next time, guys. Take care. Have a good night. Ta-da.